Welcome to our World War II exploration. Today we're uncovering some of the most incredible and rarely seen photographs from the Second World War, each telling a powerful story of courage, conflict, and resilience. This image shows Benito Mussolini inspecting Italian troops during the Second Italo-Ethiopian War. Mussolini's drive for empire building led to the invasion of Ethiopia, marking a brutal chapter in history that foreshadowed World War II. The image reflects the authoritarian nature of Mussolini's regime, which sought to revive the glory of ancient Rome through military aggression. This photo captures a significant moment in history, the German invasion of Poland on September 1, 1939, which marked the beginning of World War II. In this image, German soldiers are seen forcefully removing a border barrier at the Polish border, symbolizing the end of peace in Europe and the start of a brutal conflict that would engulf the world. This aggressive action led to the rapid fall of Poland and set the stage for the widespread devastation that followed in the years to come. As German tanks roll across the North African desert, the dust clouds trail behind them, marking the relentless advance of Rommel's Afrika Korps during the Desert Campaign of World War II. These Panzer III tanks, robust and formidable, were instrumental in the early successes of the Axis forces, demonstrating the sheer power and mobility that defined blitzkrieg warfare. The harsh environment, with its unforgiving heat and vast expanses, tested both man and machine to their limits. This image captures a moment of that intense desert warfare, where every dune and horizon held the promise of either victory or defeat. Russian civilians are seen leaving their destroyed homes after a devastating German bombardment during the infamous Siege of Leningrad, which occurred on December 10, 1942. The image reflects the harrowing conditions faced by the people of Leningrad as they endured one of the longest and most brutal sieges in history, lasting 872 days. Despite the overwhelming destruction, these civilians' resilience and determination to survive in the face of unimaginable hardship stand as a powerful testament to the human spirit during one of World War II's darkest chapters. The USS Arizona, engulfed in flames and thick smoke, marks one of the most devastating moments in American history. The battleship was completely destroyed during the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. This tragic event claimed the lives of 1,177 crew members and signaled the United States entry into World War II. The image of the burning USS Arizona has since become a powerful symbol of the sacrifice and resilience of the American people during the war. As the U.S. Navy advanced through the Pacific in 1943, operations like the Gilbert and Marshall Islands campaign were crucial. This image captures an SBD-5 Dauntless scout plane patrolling over the USS Washington and USS Lexington, showcasing the naval air power that was instrumental in gaining control over strategic islands and pushing back against Japanese forces. The coordinated efforts between the air and naval units in such operations were pivotal in securing victories in the Pacific theater during World War II. This iconic image captures General Douglas MacArthur making his historic return to the Philippines on October 20, 1944, during World War II. This moment, part of the larger Allied campaign to liberate the Philippines from Japanese occupation, symbolized the fulfillment of MacArthur's famous promise, "I shall return," made when he was forced to evacuate the Philippines in 1942. Wading through the surf at Leyte Gulf, MacArthur and his staff are shown stepping back onto Filipino soil, a powerful visual of determination and leadership during a critical phase of the Pacific War. This photograph captures a pivotal moment in history, the formal surrender of Japan on September 2, 1945, aboard the USS Missouri, marking the end of World War II. The Japanese delegation, led by Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu, is seen signing the Instrument of Surrender, officially bringing an end to the conflict that had ravaged the world for 6 long years. Standing nearby, General Douglas MacArthur, who accepted the surrender on behalf of the Allied forces, watches intently. This event not only signified the end of hostilities, but also ushered in a new era of peace and rebuilding across the globe. In this haunting image, we witness a group of Polish citizens, their faces covered, being led by German soldiers through the forest near Pomiery. This location, ominously known as the site of mass executions carried out by the Nazis during World War II, is a stark reminder of the brutality faced by the Polish population under occupation. The photograph captures the moments leading up to what would become one of many mass graves filled with the bodies of innocent people. This image is a chilling testament to the horrors of war and the indiscriminate violence that characterized the Nazi regime's campaign of terror across occupied Europe. This historic photograph captures one of the most significant moments of World War II, the Yalta Conference in February 1945. Seated from left to right are British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin. This iconic image symbolizes the collaboration between the Allied leaders as they discuss the post-war reorganization of Europe and the future of the world after the defeat of Nazi Germany. Despite their differing ideologies and visions, their alliance was crucial in shaping the outcome of the war and the geopolitical landscape of the 20th century. This photo captures a solemn moment during the Nuremberg Trials, held between 1945 and 1946. These trials were a series of military tribunals set up to bring justice to the leaders of Nazi Germany for their roles in the Holocaust and other war crimes during World War II. The defendants in this image, including some of the most notorious figures of the Nazi regime, faced charges of crimes against humanity, war crimes, and genocide. The trials marked a significant moment in international law, establishing the precedent that individuals could be held accountable for such atrocities, regardless of their rank or position. This image shows a formation of German Junkers Ju-87 Stuka dive bombers during World War II. The Stuka, with its distinctive inverted gull wings and fixed landing gear, became one of the most recognizable symbols of Nazi air power. Known for its terrifying accuracy in ground attack missions, the Stuka was equipped with a siren called the Jericho Trompete, which would scream as the plane dived, intended to strike fear into the hearts of those on the ground. This image likely captures the Stukas during an offensive operation, demonstrating the Luftwaffe's early dominance in the skies, particularly in the invasions of Poland and France. Despite its early successes, the Stuka was vulnerable to more modern fighters, and as the war progressed, it became increasingly outmatched. However, its role in the early years of Blitzkrieg left an indelible mark on the history of aerial warfare. This photograph captures a historic moment in 1938 during the signing of the Munich Agreement, a pivotal event that would soon lead to the outbreak of World War II. Pictured are British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, French Premier Édouard Daladier, Adolf Hitler, Benito Musolini, and Italian Foreign Minister Galeazzo Ciano. The Munich Agreement, signed on September 30, 1938, allowed Nazi Germany to annex the Sudetenland, a region of Czechoslovakia, in a failed attempt to appease Hitler and avoid war. This agreement is often criticized as a symbol of the failed policy of appeasement and is seen as a prelude to the devastation of World War II, which began less than a year later when Hitler invaded Poland. In this image, we see a column of British Matilda II tanks moving across the desert near Tobruk, Libya, on November 18, 1941. These tanks played a crucial role in the North African campaign during World War II, where the harsh desert conditions tested both men and machines. The Matilda, known for its heavy armor, was a formidable opponent in the early years of the war. However, as the conflict progressed, the tank's slow speed and relatively weak armament became significant drawbacks against more advanced German tanks. Despite these limitations, the Matilda II was a symbol of resilience, helping to hold the line during some of the most intense battles in North Africa. The soldiers riding these tanks were part of a larger effort to defend the strategically vital port of Tobruk, a key objective for both Axis and Allied forces throughout the campaign. As the first waves of American soldiers approached the shores of Omaha Beach on D-Day, June 6, 1944, they faced the grim reality of what was about to unfold. Packed tightly in their landing crafts, the soldiers braced themselves as they drew nearer to the heavily fortified coast. The sound of gunfire and explosions grew louder with each passing moment, and the thick smoke rising from the shoreline served as a stark reminder of the fierce battle already raging ahead. The image of V-2 rocket during a test launch at Peenemünde, Germany during World War II. The V-2 rocket, developed by Nazi Germany, was the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. It was a significant technological advancement, representing the beginnings of modern rocket technology and space exploration. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more historical content. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload.